Coming up on this week's edition of Beyond the Arc with Coach Gebbia, presented by GEICO, Emily Fisher returns, Cara Fresh is settling in, and the Eagles take on a tough Lafayette Leopards club. All of that after this.
Broken windshield, take one.
Hey guys, my windshield just got broken. I feel like I need to blow off some steam. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Mr. Blanks, there's no need to be stressed. GEICO makes it easy to file a claim online, on the app, or over the phone.
Yeah, but what if I never hear back? That's gonna make me want to go, check.
No, your GEICO claims team is always there for you.
That makes me want to celebrate with some fireworks. 5, 6, 7, go. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah!
GEICO, great service without all the drama.
Welcome into the show, and Meg, let's jump right in. You guys seem to be feeling a bit of a rhythm, into a little bit of a sync. You've won 2 of 3, sync in a good way, by the way, after losing the first 2 games of the season. Just talk about, are you guys really kind of feeling like you've hit a bit of a stride?
A little bit. I think bringing Fish back this set of games and having her hopefully for the rest of the season will help us get in a little bit better sync. And you can even see it in practice the last couple of days that she's just with the starting group and things just move a little bit better. Our defense is a little bit better because that's something that she does really well. And I think it was nice for us to be able to win games without her. I mean, honestly, you never know who you're going to lose throughout the season. And, Ivy stepped into that role and did a really nice job. And now, we have her back and now we can bring Ivy in off the bench, which is helpful. And it just makes us a little deeper.
When you take a look at the fact that, you've had so many freshmen have so many minutes here early on this season with Bales and Johns and Henning seeing some quality minutes, and you look at the offense, now granted it's a small sample size, but you guys are scoring a little over 66 points a game. And last year we're at like a little over 57 points a game. So is that surprising you at all that the offense seems to be clicking and putting up that many points here this season?
Yeah, it did surprise us as a staff, but it's kind of nice because we weren't sure. We were seeing it in practice before we had games, right? And then you're like, is this actually going to show up in a game? You're not really sure. But I credit the freshmen, honestly. I mean, obviously the returners are scoring more, like a Taylor. Fish is scoring a little bit, and obviously you have Jade. But I think the freshmen came in thinking that's what they do, and they're not going to hesitate, and they don't. And I really admire them for that, and I think that helps a lot. And the league doesn't know them as well, right? So that's also helpful that they don't know what our freshmen do quite yet, although as every game passes, they're getting a better idea. But it's kind of fun to be able to score more points and not have to rely all the time on your defense every possession, right? So it's exciting. Now we're working on our defensive end so we can, shore up some things there. But it is a little surprising and joyful for us as a staff. And we hope that as we bring in even next year with the people that are not here this year and add to our roster, that continues.
Now you talked about Fish coming back, and obviously that's going to be a huge boost for you guys. How's she feeling after missing last weekend and the last game of that Navy series a couple weeks ago?
She doesn't seem like she's lost a beat, to be honest with you. I mean, she's so much energy and so much enthusiasm, a love for the game. It's just infectious when she steps on the floor. And she's such a great communicator. And I think that's what we saw, even at the game here, that she was present but couldn't play on Sunday. Every time out before we got there, as we were talking as a staff, she was in the huddle talking to the team. So it's kind of nice to have that person, that floor general, on the floor now versus on the bench and helping in timeout. So she hasn't really missed a beat. She looks like she's still ready to score and do her part. And, I just hope she just needs to get her feet wet again, right? Being out for a couple of games kind of hurts. And it's like, all right, you need the first couple minutes to kind of get ready for what's going to be happening in the game.
How is her return going to affect India Sanders? Indy last weekend, I think it was on Sunday, put up like a 40-minute game. How is Fish's return going to affect Indy?
Well, obviously we won't have to play India for 40 minutes. And I didn't even realize I never took her out of the game. I just didn't even realize it. So, yeah, I mean, I think it puts India back in her natural 2-guard spot too. And I think that's where she's most comfortable. And I think what will help what I've seen, at least in the last couple of games, is just us handling the pressure better. Because I think, if anything, we struggled against the press when we had a 2-guard running the point and our freshmen coming in. So this will help with that. And I think it just gives everyone confidence when your point guard's on the floor. That's what I'm seeing in practice right now. It's like the confidence is coming back.
Now, Cara Fresh had a pair of standout games last weekend. She's back in the starting lineup this weekend. And what are you not getting from her? Last weekend you got some good points, some good output in that department. What are you not getting from her that you want to see her improve on?
It's funny that you bring this up, Dan, because in practice I yelled at her about it today. She needs to rebound. Like, you're 6'3", 6'4", and you're not getting rebounds. The guards are out rebounding you. What is going on with that, right? And especially in her position in the zone, her position is supposed to rebound. So a lot of times she was shooting, though, so I'll give her credit for that. She was making shots. But she needs to rebound. She's really worked hard on her defense, so I'm really happy to see her sliding her feet and stuff like that. She's kind of like a rim protector, so she needs to rotate a little quicker when people drive and kind of protect the rim and make people alter their shots a little. I think she's on her way to doing that, and I'm excited to see what she can do against two solid, really good Lafayette post players.
Let's talk about Lafayette a little bit. They're sitting at 0-4, but of course they played Lehigh and Bucknell. When you look at that 0-4 record, maybe a little bit misleading?
Yeah, I told the team, I said, you don't throw out the record right now. As you know, Bucknell's moving on all cylinders, and Lehigh, just came with 3-point shooting and just playing amazing right now. So don't look at the record. But we have to remind them, like, listen, they beat us twice last year. We didn't look good either game. Obviously, they have the preseason player of the year on their team. So we have got to be ready to rock and roll. And I think they're focused, which is kind of nice. But Lafayette's good. Like, I don't care what anybody says. They're a good team. And yeah, they've had to be on pause for 2 weeks now. So that might take them a few minutes to get adjusted, but it could work the opposite. They could have so much energy going into the game. And, we've been playing every week, so we might be more tired than them. Who knows? But I'm hoping by the end of the fourth quarter that we can kind of outlast energy wise and have ourselves ready to play.
That's one of the other things I was going to bring up, the fact that, it seems like you're playing yet another team that's had a layoff leading into you guys. And you could look at it either way. Sometimes, the players might come out fresh, ready to roll, fired up, let's do this. Or they might come out a little rusty because they haven't been in that rhythm. They haven't been in that sync. They haven't been able to play as much lately, right? So you don't really know what you're getting.
I have no idea. And it's a little scary because I don't know when they started practicing, what they put in that's new, right? All those things that you have no idea going into it. And that's just why we have to make adjustments in the game and go based on what's happening and like who steps up for them, because maybe it's not somebody we think it's going to be and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a little nerve wracking that way. Sure. Worse for me probably than for them.
You talked about their preseason player of the year, the Patriot League preseason player of the year, Natalie Kakowski. And she averages a double-double in points and rebounds, but also leads them in assists. And there's just got to be so many challenges in trying to defend her, right?
Yeah, it's really difficult because she is such a unselfish player who probably needs to be a little bit more selfish at times, but she can pretty much score whenever she really puts her mind to it. And it's a challenge because she's such a good passer that if you double, she's going to find the right person, right? If you sag, she's going to shoot the ball. She can use either hand around the rim. She doesn't have like one move that you're like, oh, she's going to make this move, right? So it's a challenge. What I like about this for our defense is how well do we dig on her when she puts the ball on the floor? Do we double her at times? And can we rotate correctly off of that? And that's something we've talked about over the last couple of days is it needs to come as a surprise. She can't see you coming, because if she sees you come, that's a basket for them. So yeah, it's a challenge, and she's such a multi-dimensional type player, and those are the dangerous ones. Those are the ones that you see get the votes at the beginning of the year, and just the fact that she rebounds the way she does as well. That's a challenge for us, obviously, because she's all over the boards at both ends.
Another weekend doubleheader. This one, Lafayette. You're going up to Easton, a little bit of a longer trip. And no overnights, meaning no hotel stays this year. So is that something that the first game for you guys is going to be up there at Lafayette, 2:00 on Saturday, then back at AU, 4:00 on Sunday? Would you rather have the road game on the front end or back end of the doubleheader, or is it kind of one of those things you throw it up in the air and go, whatever, just give us a game?
I think it depends on the team, but I do think playing away first, and it depends. The Loyola and Navy games, I don't think really matter because it's just such a short trip. Mm-hmm. It's 40 minutes to an hour, But these longer games, it's hard. But the thing you have to look at is, the first game you're going to have more energy. You're going to be a little bit fresher, right? So playing away when you're more fresh seems to make more sense to me than when you're home and you're used to being on that floor. And we're giving up more points in the second game, Dan. End of story, right? We got tired legs, second day legs. So I think I'd rather be at home on that second day when you're tired versus being on the road and trying to pull something off. So I kind of like how this weekend is shaping up.
Now, when you get ready for the game, what are your GEICO keys to the games this weekend against the Leopards?
Yeah, I mean, they're like ranked in the top 25 in rebounding, so especially defensive rebounding. So us crashing the offensive glass is really important. Effectively running our zone offense. We've talked about that before in other games. This is a very much a zone-driven team, although they are playing a little more man this year. So I think just, when I went back and watched last year's film, we just lived and died by the three, and we weren't real good at it. So we know that, we want to take some threes, but we want to try to score inside, in the paint, get some layups and some offensive rebound putbacks to get easy baskets. So that's really important. And then obviously focusing on Natalie, knowing where she is at all times, helping Taylor or helping Zach or helping Carl, whoever's on her, helping that person play some defense. And then it's going to come down to our rotations and do we box out? So it's exciting. Things we're not great at. So I'm excited to see if we can change old bad habits.
Well, best of luck this weekend against the Leopards.
Okay, thanks, Dan.
That'll do it for this edition of Beyond the Arc with Coach Gebbia, presented by GEICO. For all the latest, be sure and log on to aueagles.com and follow the team via all the social media platforms. For Coach, I'm Dan. We'll see you next week.